Hello everyone, Meisterang here, and I'm about 2/3 of the way towards my triple-digit win streak. Let's let's try to make it even closer, I guess. Alright, what do we have? In terms of duplicates, yeah, 'cause I'm thinking we have a shaman, and we might have a doppelganger. I see that we have 3 enlightens. Okay. Scout, Empress, Poet, Alchemist, Druid, Jester. Okay, those are all different. Okay, well, one thing I can see is that these enlightens can't all be truthful. Yeah, so the only way there's a doppelganger is if all 3 of these enlightens are real, but they definitely can't all be truthful. Yeah, like suppose this one is truthful, then, I don't know, this might be evil. Well, okay, so if this is truthful, the closest evil is counterclockwise. Well, okay, let's say the Jester is evil, and then this Enlightened is saying that the other Enlightened is evil. Okay, well, let's move them a space over. So, like, if this Enlightened is truthful, yeah, maybe it's 2 spaces counterclockwise and 3 spaces clockwise to get to evils. Then these 2 Enlightens could be truthful, but then clearly for this Enlightened, the clockwise evil is much closer than the counterclockwise evil. So one of these has to be evil, and 2 of them are good. And since the only source of corruption is the drunk... Oh, by the way, yep. If I killed this alchemist and he was the drunk, that was the only way killing him could have been bad, but then I would be fine with that. I'd be perfectly fine with just killing the drunk. But yeah, as I was saying, so 2 of those enlightens are good, and 1 of those is evil. I feel like I could probably figure out which one is the evil. Okay, suppose this is the evil. Well, then this enlightened is also lying and can't be the drunk, because the drunk cannot copy somebody who's already in play. So clearly, 4 cannot be evil. So 4 is good, which also means that 5 cannot be evil, because then for sure number 4 is lying. So 5 has to be good, which means 6 is evil, and the Jester has to be evil. Awesome. Good job, Enlightened. Okay, 2 evils adjacent to this lover. That's pretty suspicious, but I'm not going to act on that yet. I'm trying to be as consistent as possible. Okay. Well, these knitters disagree with each other. Number 8 cannot be truthful, since we have a puppeteer, and there is a puppet. Okay, I'm just going to flip this last card. Okay, we could have a drunk, and this plague doctor could be fake. We have 2 lovers and 2 knitters. Okay. Yeah, we know this knitter is lying. Could this lover be telling the truth? Okay, what happens if this lover is telling the truth? Then both of these are evil. And, I mean, we could have a plague doctor under door number 6. Or we could just have a drunk somewhere. Okay, yeah, if this lover is truthful, then, yeah, these are both evil. 8 cannot be a puppet, so 9 would not be the puppeteer. Well, I guess 1 could be the puppet. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, this would account for 2 of the evils. 9 could be puppeteer and 1 could be puppet. 2 could be puppeteer and 1 could be puppet. Or 2 could be puppeteer and 3 could be puppet. And if this lover is truthful, then this lover is... No, wait, we have a shaman. But yeah, then one of these knitters is either evil or... Well, 8 is definitely either evil or corrupted. And we don't know about 7. Okay. The lover is accusing the Empress of being evil. The Empress is accusing the lover or the knitter, unless 3 could be the puppet. Well, okay, what happens if I kill 8 and 8 is corrupted? Then I use the Plague Doctor on 8 and identify an evil guaranteed. Okay, so corrupted, then I use the Plague Doctor and find an evil who could also be the Plague Doctor. Wait, so one person is going to be corrupted by the Plague Doctor. Oh, or the drunk. Yeah, the only possible corruption is either Plague Doctor or drunk, and we only have one of those two. Okay, so if I find... Yeah, if 8 is corrupted... If 8 is the drunk, then I just kill the Plague Doctor, obviously. And also, I can kill this knitter, because the drunk will not share identities with a villager. So it would be like this. And then these have to be the... Well, they could be the shaman pair, but they could not be the shaman pair, because 6 could be a duplicate of somebody. You know, I'm just gonna kill this knitter and see what happens. Okay, well... Goodbye, Plague Doctor. Evils are... Yeah, I mean, evils are definitely adjacent. Oh, so this knitter is fake. Yeah, so that's what I was saying before. Okay, so for sure, one of these two people is evil. One of these two is the puppet. The Empress is accusing either 3 or 4. There's no more corruption, which means if the lover is lying... Oh, wait a second. Hold on. So if 3 is the puppet, this lover would be truthful, and this Empress would be truthful. Okay, what else is going on? So there's exactly one pair of evil. So, yeah, one of these would be evil, but not both of them. And I don't know if that really tells us anything else. Also, I'll just have the puppeteer. Okay, 4 is not evil. Okay, so this lover is not evil. Yeah, it's like there was nothing for me to do. I already know who all the corrupted characters are, so just using the fake Plague Doctor on somebody who's not corrupted is the best I can do. Yeah, so one of these two is evil. One of these two is the puppet. So, and, yeah, the lover is accusing the fortune teller of being evil. Well, if the lover is the puppet, then the lover is evil, and the fortune teller is also evil, and that's 2 pairs of evil. That's impossible. So the alchemist is the puppet, and the lover is truthful, so 5 is not evil. Yeah, this fortune teller has to be the last evil. Alright. Alright, original baker, and then a bunch of more bakers. And then number 9 is possibly, well, either 8 is corrupted, or 9 is somebody who cannot be bakered. The only way 8 could be corrupted is if 8 is the drunk, but then 7 would have turned 9 into a baker. So I think we know for sure that 9 has to be unbakeable, which is either an evil or a drunk. Unless 8 got corrupted by the poisoner, in which case 9 is a poisoner. Okay, well, we got it. Okay, this poet has to be truthful. Since We know 9 is not a villager. Which means one of these two is evil. 8 or 7 is a puppeteer. Well, if 8 or 7 was a puppeteer, that would make 8, 7, or 6 a puppet. But we actually know that none of them is a puppet because... yeah, because they would have been they would have said, I was a baker. So yeah, so this oracle is definitely not being truthful. Which I guess could have meant... Yeah, which I guess could have been corrupted by the poisoner. Okay, anyway, I guess we know that 7 and 8 are officially good. Which they probably were, but it's also possible that a crafty minion was disguising as a baker. Okay, so the Oracle is accusing 6 of being a poisoner, because we know that 7 and 8 are good. So if 6 was a poisoner, then 7 would be corrupted. Oh, we know that 7 or 9 is evil due to this poet. And 7, yeah, we figured out that 7 could not be evil. Alright, and that's the puppet. Oh, we're not done yet. Okay. Yeah, there's one more. Okay, this oracle is lying. This oracle... Huh. I'm actually... So this oracle is definitely not telling the truth. I'm just trying to figure out how the oracle... It's like, so if the oracle was lying, then, if the oracle is lying, then either she is corrupted by the poisoner or she is the poisoner. But then one should be either corrupted or evil. Oh, we know that that 6 isn't evil. Yeah, because this drunk is claiming that 6 could be evil. Okay, I'm a little confused. There's only one outcast, so this is the only outcast. Okay. Yeah, 4, 7, and 9 are known. 8 and 7 are known to be good. Yeah, 6 is known to be good, 1 is known to be good. I mean, I guess that means 2 has to be the poisoner, but how did 2... Oh my goodness. Yeah, because 2 corrupted the puppet. Yeah, 2 corrupted 3 before the puppeteer had a chance to turn 3 into a puppet. Yeah, so 2 corrupted 3, and then the puppeteer uncorrupted 3. Alright. Funny little interaction. Okay, well, we don't have any corrupted characters, so we can already kill this bard. Because not only is his statement false, but we know that he's evil. And we for sure have a doppelganger. Oh yeah, since nobody's corrupted, we can also kill that. Also, this poet is for sure lying. Okay, that was an easy round. Alright, no Lilith and no Witch means I can just freely click everybody. And the only... Yeah, there is a drunk, and that's the only person who would be lying. Alright, what does this druid think? Alright, druid's truthful. Okay. So the lover is accusing the slayer. So one of those two is evil. Yeah, so that's one evil accounted for. If this slayer is evil, then this medium is also evil, and that's too many evils. And same if it's the other way around. So these both have to be good. Which actually means that, yeah, the other slayer is evil. Alright, Dreamer's lying. Alright, only one pair of evil, according to those knitters. Okay, well, only one of those outcasts can be real. So according to both of those knitters, there's only one pair of evil. Oh, okay, you know what? I'm just going to test the Plague Doctor. Okay, Plague Doctor's truthful. What does this judge think? Judge is a liar. Okay, yeah, I was trying to think if 1 and 2 could be a combination of corrupted and evil. The dead person was corrupted. Okay, so we have a doppelganger and a drunk because the outcast created by the counselor does not show up here. Wait, there's a wretch. Okay, so there is a doppelganger or a drunk. Okay, there's only one potentially one corrupted character. Well, one thing we have is a shaman, so we have a pair of either jesters or gemcrafters. Yeah, knight, jester. A pair of slayers or gemcrafters. Knight, jester, knitter, bard. Alright, so it's either these two or it's these two. 9 is claiming that 4 is good. Okay. If 9 was evil, then 4 would be evil. And then there's one more evil. Okay, and then both of the slayers are good. Well, I could have the slayers try to kill each other, because if they both fail to kill each other, well, I guess that means either they're both good or they're both evil. What if they're both evil? Well, yeah, could these slayers both be evil? Well, you know, I'm just gonna have them kill each other. Okay, so they both failed to kill each other, so they're either both good or both evil. If they're both evil, then both of these have to be good, and the knight is good, and then, oh, we don't know if the gemcrafter, the gemcrafter cannot be the drunk, so the gemcrafter is not corrupted, so this bard is lying. The knight could be corrupted. Yeah, I guess there's the knight could be corrupted, the bard could be corrupted. And oh yeah, it could just be all 4 of these are good because of the doppelganger. I'm gonna kill this bard. If 8 is telling the truth, then at least I know there's a drunk. Okay. So one of these is the drunk. Alright. Okay, number 1 is in fact good. And, yeah, I knew that 1 was not the drunk because one of these two had to be the drunk. Anyway, this slayer is for sure the drunk. And the drunk does not share identities with anyone, so yeah, there we go. And because 4 is good, that means 9 has to also be good. And I guess that accounts for everybody that's not evil. Let's just see what this jester says. Yeah, jester is a big liar. And the knitter just happens to be evil by process of elimination. Okay, well, we might have a doppelganger. The lover is accusing both of these of being evil. Okay. Okay, according to this medium, 2 is a real drunk. So I guess the medium is truthful, and this scout is the drunk. Which means that Ba is not 1 card away from closest evil, which means that the evils are not adjacent. Okay, 1, 2, and 7 cannot... None of those can be evil, so 6 is lying. And I guess that means that 4 has to be lying. Well, okay, so this lover is not evil because the evils are not touching. Awesome. We have a witch, so I have to be somewhat mindful of my order. Alright. 9 is a real baker. Okay. According to the poet. I'm gonna see... Yeah, I'm gonna click... Wait a second. I was thinking, oh, I click 10, and then if 9's a real baker, 9 would have baked 10. But the baker uses their ability when I click them. Okay, well... We have a Puka and a Plague Doctor, so that is probably 3 people who are corrupted. We don't have a surprise alchemist, do we? No. Yeah, I'm going to reveal 9. Yeah, because I know that 9... Because I wanted to know if the baker was a real baker, or if the baker was a fake baker, or corrupted. But the downside of this is 10 could be... 10 could be an outcast. And the Plague Doctor, I wouldn't know it. So this Enlightened isn't hard, isn't specifically accusing this baker, but pretty much is accusing the baker. Okay, what if 10 is the Puka? Number 1 is not corrupted. Okay, cool. So the Plague Doctor was truthful. Good job, Plague Doctor. Alright, Dreamer is not telling the truth. Okay. Three could be corrupted by the Plague Doctor, but 3 cannot be corrupted by the Puka, because if 4 is the Puka, then the Confessor should be corrupted. So if 3 is corrupted by the Plague Doctor, well, okay, suppose 3 is just not evil, and this Enlightened is not telling the truth. Then this Jester has to be good, and the 2 remaining evils are between 7 and 10, which I guess is possible. What do I even have to go on? I kind of, I'm just, Yeah, I'm just gonna kill this baker. Okay. You know, like, it feels likely that the baker was fake. But yeah, so this Enlightened is telling the truth, and according to the knitter, there's only one pair of evil. If she is truthful, then that's actually impossible. If she is evil, then she's telling the truth. So she has to be corrupted. Yeah, and probably standing next to the Puka. No corrupted characters, you say? Okay, well... Yeah, the only way there could be somebody corrupted is if there's a Plague Doctor. Okay, so what? Nice. Closest evil is counterclockwise. Okay, that's probably true. Okay, what? So... Oh, the outcast just has to be not 8. This is an outcast. Man, my handwriting is much better than this in real life. Great. Okay, if this is a Plague Doctor, then that means both of these guys are lying. and possibly one is lying, but two could be corrupted. Well, actually, what if... How do I start this line? I could... Okay, I kill the baker, and if the baker is corrupted, then I can kill both of the bards. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna... Actually, okay, so we know this is a plague doctor, and we know this is an evil. Or we know this is an outcast, we know this is an evil. And since we have a shaman, there has to be a pair of duplicates. Enlightened bard, oracle, alchemist, lover, baker, bard, gemcrafter. So there's just two bards. That's the only pair of duplicates, which means, yeah, they have to both be good, and one of them could be corrupted if there's a plague doctor, but not both of them. Okay, so these are good, and this is a bomb guy. Okay, you know what? Bomb. Okay. But yeah, what was I doing? Oh yeah, so anybody who's lying can die. And... What? Oh, 10 was the puppet. Okay, well, this Enlightened is telling the truth. This Oracle is not telling the truth. Oh, I wish I could see what this person was. Well, whatever. Okay, yeah, we have a witch. Okay, evils are not adjacent. I feel like that's probably true. We have two pairs of duplicates. That means actually there has to be a doppelganger pair. And the reason is because the demon cannot disguise as somebody who's already spoken for. So like one of these two could be the witch, but cannot be the Ba. I mean, unless it's witch and Ba, but then this poet pair, like that's, yeah, it's like there's one of the evils accounts for this, and the other evil cannot account for that. So there has to be a doppelganger. I am tempted to believe this knitter. What if the knitter is not telling the truth? Okay, well then, yeah, then the other evil has to be adjacent to the knitter, and yeah, it has to be one of the pairs of duplicates, which means 2 is evil, but then the poet is also lying, and that's too many evils. So this knitter is telling the truth for sure. Okay. And one of these 4 pairs, one out of these 4 people in these 2 pairs is evil. One and only one. This poet is not evil, because she's telling the truth. Oh yeah, we also know that 7 cannot be another duplicate, because then there would be 3 pairs, and only the witch and the doppelganger can account for pairs, so having a third pair, or a 3 of a kind and a pair, isn't possible. Anyway, this poet is truthful. If this poet was evil, then the fortune teller would also have to be evil, and that's not possible. So that's truthful, which means this fortune teller is truthful, which means 5 is evil. This oracle is truthful. 8 must be good because of the oracle, and 7 is last evil. Huh. If I could have revealed 7, I would have instantly known that he was evil. Alright, we got one more outcast. Could be the bombardier, or it could be a drunk or doppelganger. We have 2 empresses, so it could be a doppelganger. Okay, the Oracle is accusing herself of being a counselor. Or 3. So either she's telling the truth, or she is the drunk. Alright, well... Oh, is this a cabbage? Yes. Okay, good job, Dreamer. Yeah, so the Oracle could be the drunk, in which case 3 would not be evil. So 3 would be good. Actually, that's impossible. Okay, so if this Oracle is the drunk, and 3 is good, well, there are only 2 outcasts, so the Bombardier has to be evil. Wait, no. Okay, I got confused. Yeah, so that is wait, no. Drunk, not evil. 8 is the evil. 2 and 5 are good. This Empress is evil. Or, sorry, this Empress is good. And this Hunter is telling the truth. Yeah, so that's actually not possible. There just aren't enough people left that can be evil. Alright, so this Empress has to be evil. And... Alright, Oracle's truthful. 2, 5, and 8 are good. I don't know where the drunk is. Dreamer's truthful. Okay, Hunter cannot be truthful. Awesome. Right, there's no drunk because we already accounted for both of the outcasts. I was considering the drunk in the situation where the Bombardier could have been fake. Okay. Baker is truthful, and the Baker converted the final character into a Baker. And if 8 was evil, then 1 would have turned somebody else into a Baker. So yeah, 8 for sure is good. There's also no corruption here. Should be a pretty easy round. Can the right side be more evil? Yeah, no way. 1, 6, and 8. Okay, this Empress is truthful. This Wretch is obviously, you know, not evil. Jester is telling the truth. Oh yeah, I guess since nobody was corrupted, I could have immediately killed the Knight. Okay. We only have 1 outcast. So this lover has to be telling the truth. I'm hoping I can do better than having the Plague Doctor test the Bombardier and then killing whichever one is evil. I'm hoping I can actually use the Plague Doctor to find an evil, which I guess I would be doing. I guess the idea is, what I really want is to click the Plague Doctor on somebody who might be corrupted, find out that they're corrupted, and find somebody else who is evil. Okay. Well, I can have the judge test himself on the lover. All right, judge is not truthful. Yeah, we have a Puka, so we have a Puka and a Plague Doctor, so killing this Knight is like it's risky, and if it doesn't pay off, I might just lose. Because I don't get enough information if I kill the Knight and he's corrupted. Okay, I forgot the part where the Plague Doctor could point at 3. Yeah, at the Bombardier. So that does not resolve my situation at all. We can't have duplicates, so yeah, either the Oracle or the other Oracle is evil. So, oh, this Oracle is claiming that 8 or 1 is evil. If 4 is truthful, then 8 has to be evil, and then 1 is good. If 4 is evil, then 8 and 1 have to be good. Okay, so actually we just know that the Plague Doctor is telling the truth. I just double check before I kill a bombardier. Yeah, there's no shaman, there's no doppelganger. So these can't both be good. Yeah, so one of them is evil. And either way, Oracle number 4 is clearing the Plague Doctor. Since if 4 is evil, Plague Doctor is good. If 8 is evil, Plague Doctor is good. Okay. And that makes this Oracle dishonest. Yeah, we know for sure that this judge is corrupted. There we go. Good, but corrupted. Okay. The Empress is accusing the Knight or the Oracle. So we've accounted for one evil. Oh, there's no puppet. So the puppeteer has to be between two people who cannot be turned into puppets. Okay. Well, the lover is between two people that cannot be turned into puppets, but she's telling the truth. So she can't be a puppeteer. It can't be 10 and 9 since 9 is good. Yeah, so it has to be 4 and 5. Nice. Alright, another Lilith round. Well, these Empresses can't both be truthful, because we don't have any duplicates. Okay. Yeah, they can't both be truthful, which means 4 and 3 have to be good. Okay, 3, 4, and 6. Yeah, 6 is also obviously good. So this Empress is lying. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the one is accusing 2, and 2 is lying. Could 2 be corrupted? Well, if 2 was corrupted, then 1 would have to be the poisoner. Oh yeah, which that's possible. I guess there's so few possible evils that I can just kill everyone. Nice. Alright, original Baker, and probably number 9 is good, but I guess we can't be completely sure. Anyway, one of the Plague Doctors has to be fake. Get out of here. Okay. Oh, that's not a cabbage. Yeah, so there are 2 people corrupted. 7 and 9 do not contain a counselor. Pretty sure this Oracle has to be corrupted. 5 is evil, 7 is corrupted. Thanks, Plague Doctor. You identified the wretch for me. What a baller. Fortune Teller's lying. And we're done. Okay. Oh, we have 2 outcasts, so this Bombardier is real. Oh, we have a Shaman. Jester. Okay, so we have 2 Oracles. Jester, Fortune Teller, Gem Crafter, Baker, Bard, Enlightened. Those are all different. We know this Baker's lying. Yeah, so these Oracles are good. We don't know if either or both of them is corrupted. If they're both corrupted... Well, one of them could be truthful and the other one could be corrupted. Well, we know that one is not a shaman. 2 could be a shaman. Okay, so what if... Well, okay, if they're both just not telling the truth. If they're both corrupted... Well, one of them could be the drunk. No, that's... No, they're both real. That means the fortune teller is the puka. And the baker is corrupted. I guess the baker would have to be the drunk, because that's the only source of corruption remaining. Gemcrafter is telling the truth. Bard is lying, which I guess means he has to be evil. Enlightened is truthful, and then possibly the Jester is truthful. I mean, in this scenario, the Jester would have to be truthful. I'm kind of tempted to test this scenario now. Okay, so it could be 3 is corrupted, 4 is the puka, and 5 is corrupted. Then 7 is the drunk. 8 is evil. Yeah, that's a possibility. Okay. And I can test this by having the Jester confirm everybody. There we go. So that is if both of the oracles are lying. Okay. If I find out that both of the oracles are lying, then I kill 4 and 8. Okay. What if 2 is the shaman? So this oracle would be telling the truth. This oracle would be corrupted, and that means this oracle is next to the puka, but 2 is a shaman, not a puka, and 4 can't be a puka, or 5 would be corrupted. Okay, so that's not possible. And since we know the bombardier is not a puka, it can't be the other way around, that 3 is telling the truth and 5 is not telling the truth. Okay, so what if they're both good? I mean, they are both good, but what if they're both telling the truth? Then 6 is a shaman, and that means 7 is the puka. Oh, okay, so it's either 6 and 7 or 4 and 8. It actually got narrowed down pretty easily. Oh, hold on. Poisoner is, well, I just want to be careful of who I don't allow myself to reveal. Okay, how plausible is it that there's no corrupted characters? Well, okay, so what if I kill this bard? Well, one thing we know is that one of these scouts is... Wait a second, we probably have a doppelganger. So the only source of corruption is the poisoner, unless 9 contains a plague doctor, which would kind of suck. I'm just gonna kill... Well, okay, so if I kill the bard and he's telling the truth, that means the poisoner has to be in between 2 people who cannot be corrupted. So in between 2 evils, or in between an evil and the outcast. What if the bard is corrupted? Then he's probably next to a poisoner. Actually, since I think this bard is probably evil, I'm gonna have the Slayer try to kill him. Yes! Okay, good job, Slayer. Alright, that solved that in a hurry. Okay, so 2 claims that 4 is evil, in effect. If 4 is telling the truth, then the scout has to be good. And if 4 is evil, then the scout has to be good. If 4 is corrupted... Oh, we know now that there is no plague doctor. So there has to be a doppelganger. Okay. Knitter, Slayer, Bard, Knight, Druid, Lover, and 2 scouts. Okay, so one of these is the doppelganger. So they're both good, and 2 cannot be lying because 2 would have to be next to a poisoner, which is clearly not the case since 3 is not the poisoner and 1 is either good or I guess 1 is either the doppelganger or just the real scout. Okay, whatever. Poisoner is 4 cards away from the closest evil. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. Okay. So, yeah. If the scout is telling the truth, then 8 would be the poisoner. Yeah, and if the scout was not telling the truth, it would be because the lover was the poisoner and was corrupting the scout. Original baker, and it's possible that this baker is fake, but for that to be true, the Slayer and the Jester also have to be fake. Okay. Oh, are these all different? Poet, Jester, Knight, Baker, Slayer, Jester. Okay, we have 2 Jesters. They could both be, yeah, they could both be, wait, yeah, the Jesters could be a doppelganger pair. Like, 7 could be a doppelganger. Right, okay, so I should be examining a hypothetical where somebody's good. And if I find out that they're good, and then I can solve the rest of the puzzle without any more damage taken, then I'm safe to kill them. Okay. Okay, 1 is accusing 7 of being the puppeteer. 7 is for sure not the puppeteer, because 8 would say, if 7 was a puppeteer, 8 would be the puppet. It would say, I was the baker. I was a baker. Okay, so 1 is lying. Get out of here, 1. So 7 is good. Okay. Now what? Well, let's test the Jester. 3 evils. Okay, cool. Oh, that's a nice little stopping point. I like to stop at multiples of 5. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.